tuned in to Cardinal Sin And, where I, Cardinal Sin, discuss important pop culture news, reviews, movies, genre fiction, comics, storytelling, and just about anything else with my fellow YouTubers. Get ready for informed conversation about what's going on, for as your humble host, I rely on my guests to provide the talking points, whether it's a panel or just me one-on-one with a friend. So get ready for Cardinal Sin And.
All right. It is I, Cardinal Sin, your host, and this is Cardinal Sin and Friends number 23. And we are on Independence Day here in the United States. And I would just like to welcome everyone that's in the chat, including the Time Prophet, Jacob Archer Barton, Don McDouglas, which I bet used to be McDouglas, and so forth and so on. And of course, I'd also like to welcome my panel. And we have the Time Prophet. How are you?
I'm fine.
Glad you can make it. We have Rod Thunderheart. How are you, sir?
Thank you, sir. I am well.
Eat that mic. It's a little hard to hear you.
Oh, sorry.
That's better. And Mr. Douglas Nelson, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Oh, and happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July. It's Independence Day. And I heard it was Canada Day, too. But I don't know about that. But in case it is, happy Canada Day to all of our Canadian friends out there. And let's go ahead and get this panel going. I have a new microphone set up, which can sound a little bit like an echo, but I think you'll get used to it, because now I sound like a slick Venus flytrap DJ. So, what's on your minds, guys? What do you want to talk about today?
Everybody first?
Yeah, anybody. It's, a righteous round table, baby.
Well, the latest thing I was looking at was apparently Kevin Smith is a liar about the plot and scenario of the new He-Man and the Master Universe cartoon.
No, get out!
I know, it's shocking. But it's a curious scenario because a lot of times whatever they want to push a certain issue on it, like feminism or
Kevin Smith ends up in the front row, right? He's on the stage.
Yes.
He's the world's fattest feminist. Or he's
not anymore.
Not anymore. Yeah.
And I mean, good for him. He had a heart attack and he got himself in.
He had a quadruple bypass. He's lucky to be alive.
Yeah. So, but I don't know why that would have an effect on his honesty. But he I think it was Clownfish TV who came out with this saying, "Oh, it's going to be all about Tila and this sort of thing, and it's going to have these woke sentiments to it." And he went at him and said no. And I mean, and for a while there, it's like a fair point. You haven't seen it yet, and and all that. But then Netflix itself puts out this description, and it almost sounds word for word.
What did Netflix say?
Oh, well, they put out a synopsis that Teela's going to have to save the universe and, and save them from Skeletor and all that sort of stuff. And I said, well, that sounds like it's more her story than He-Man.
Yeah, Teela. I don't recall Teela. I recall She-Ra, but I guess that was a different deal, right?
Now Teela was kind of, I don't know if they ever actually had her as the love interest for He-Man, but she was always the lady of the series, and then I think later on they brought in She-Ra on her own series. I
don't think I watched enough He-Man to really be of an authority on his love interest. I think a Saturday morning cartoon doesn't really necessitate a love interest, but
I remember her. Yeah, she was.
You do.
She was kind of the.
Eat that mic, Rod.
Star.
Eat that mic.
Sorry. She was kind of the female star. She was sort of the love interest for Prince Adam. And she had
Prince Adam, another one I don't remember. I just don't think I watched it often enough.
Well, Prince Adam only had to, wave the sword. I have the power.
Oh, okay.
And then,
it was He-Man's alter ego. He-Man. I see. Okay.
Yeah. I have to be honest, I haven't watched He-Man that much. I remember it vaguely when I was at school. I can't remember all their names.
Yeah. It's just, I'm only interested in the bizarre presentation of a yet another franchise here. Where, I mean, they're going to see the show, so why lie about it,
and also it's a remake because the movie that they had with Frank Langella is about as good as you're going to get, right?
Well, for the first 5 minutes of it.
I mean, Frank Langella as Skeletor is pretty much as good as you're going to get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With that really, the dulcet tones of that basso profundo voice that he has.
Dolph Lundgren play He-Man?
Yeah, he did.
Yes, he did.
That's right.
And well casted. He was good for the role. It was just such a cheesy movie. I think they knew they were making a cheesy movie, like Flash Gordon.
Yeah.
But for my money, that the He-Man and the Masters of the Universe movie is the thing that, it's kind of like Star Wars. The movies are the first, piece of canon that has to be followed, and then, cartoons or animated stuff, even though it was before the movie. I just remember him saying, by the power of Grayskull, or I have the power. I'm not really sure what the difference was, but either one seemed to turn him into He-Man.
Yeah, that's help. Yeah.
So, Douglas, what did Netflix say?
Well, I mean, the basic outline of what the plot would be is that it centers all around the character of Teela as coming up and saving the day. Apparently, some big war happens at the beginning, and the good guys lose, and they're all kind of scattered, and when the bad guy takes over. And so now she's got to come back and get everybody rallied to overthrow him, and it just sounds.
He-Man is a prisoner in his own movie, or
apparently something
series,
like that. Yeah. He's pushed to the side. Apparently,
he has to be saved by the woman of the day.
Yes,
who is the bestest ever.
I have seen the trailer, and He-Man looks rather evil looking. His eyes look a bit red and stuff.
Yeah.
Do we know who's playing him?
I don't know. I think.
Is it live action?
No. It's a cartoon.
No.
Oh, okay.
I believe Mark Hamill's playing Skeletor. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be good. He's always good.
He's always good. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
except when he's being directed and written by Ryan Johnson.
Yeah. You can be the best actor in the world, but if you're surrounded by crap, it's there's nothing you can do.
Nothing to work with.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done plenty of crap. Take it from me.
That's a really good William Hamill. Or William Shatner or something.
Now, actually, I appreciate you saying so. But man, what I'm really known for is my Christopher Walken, and I would just like to, wish everybody out there happy 4th of July, and remember, kiddos out there, as your day progresses and it starts to get dark and you've had maybe a few beers, or, I don't know, maybe a few too many, you're going to get tired, and you just got to be safe. So everybody just, be safe out there. and back to the panel. Wow.
Oh, we lost. The British
We
lost
lost?
on the 4th of July.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right. It's Independence Day for us, and it's defeat for you.
Yes.
If you want to look at it that way, I suppose.
It was
Well,
just a couple of
happy
holidays.
defeat day.
yeah.
Happy Traitor Day.
Yeah. Happy bloody Vikings Day.
Happy
Oh, that was a
4th
really good Welsh
of July,
accent.
you ungrateful traitors.
Happy 4th of July, you monarchist bastards.
I'm not really into the Queen, except for the band. I love the band.
Which band? Queen?
Queen.
Yeah, I was just listening
Queen,
to
yeah.
Queen before we started. Crazy little thing called love.
I can actually play that on the guitar.
Well, then I could sing it.
Yeah.
Actually, I
fact-
could play the drums and sing it, so we just need a bass player.
in my new video, I actually put more guitar into that video than ever.
Yeah. It's actually it's kind of an acoustic number, so it doesn't really require a lot of guitar. One thing I was watching, this is just totally as a side thing. Robert Meyer Burnett into his chat yesterday threw a link to I think it was, I don't remember the year, but it was remastered in 2021, and it was Tom Petty, Steve Winwood, Jeff Lynne, Danny Harrison, and Prince playing While My Guitar Gently Weeps. And I'm kind of a Danny Harrison fan. His band is called The New Number 2, and he put out a solo album a couple years ago, 2017 maybe, and his band is really good, but he's standing there on stage. He's pretty young, but he's playing guitar, and they just have him playing like rhythm guitar and not singing at all. And when you listen to his band, he sounds exactly like his dad. And so the guy that's singing is Tom Petty, and he's doing a good job of it. And then they have, like the guy from that old Saturday Night Live band, the guy that has the beret, and he's always like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and so one of those guys is playing, and they've got like 4 guitarists, and I'm like, dude, Danny Harrison is right there. Let him sing. I mean, he had a mic. I saw him sing like one backup line, and I'm just like, what a waste,
I
But anyway,
have to say, the best version of While My Guitar Gently Weeps for me is the Jeff Healey band.
Oh, really? I hadn't heard
Yes.
that. I'll have
You
to
need
look that up.
He's a blind guitarist. He's died
Yeah.
now, unfortunately.
Oh no, I'm
Probably
familiar with the
best
band.
version. Yeah.
I had to watch Roadhouse for
Yeah.
32 Flavors of Nick Weiser, and he's not only in the band that's playing, but in the Roadhouse, but he's a character. He actually has lines in the movie with Patrick Swayze, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I know that film well.
Yeah, I've only seen it the one time, just like last week, so I could be on the panel, and I wrote it like a book report. I was like, this happened, and I tried to land all these jokes, and people laughed, but they were laughing at things in the chat instead of like what I was saying, so I was kind of embarrassed. So next time, I'll be more off the cuff, and
I'm not
even
forgetting
though
your
I'll have notes taken, I'll probably try and make it look like I don't.
So you never saw Roadhouse?
Nope. I always thought it was,
crap.
some crappy piece of shit movie, and it's not.
It was.
It's really good.
Yeah, it is.
I actually quite liked it.
That's a good Australian accent, mate.
Well, thank you, and good day, mate. The thing about Australians is that even though they may be saying a comment at the end of their sentence, it goes up as if it's a question.
Actually, mate, if you're going to do Australian, you have to do a London accent with a bit of a twang.
A bit of a twang.
Yes.
My London accent's probably not very good.
Nor is mine, and yet I was born there.
If you talk for a while, and I'm not saying that you should, but if you talk for a while and I get to hear your accent, I can imitate your accent pretty well. I've studied Commonwealth accents all of my life, and I'm starting to be able. I was able to tell the difference between Aussie and New Zealand, several years ago, but now I'm starting to be able to do the difference between Aussie and New Zealand. Another good example is, back in my late 20s, early 30s, which was, like 75 years ago, I was learning the Irish accent, my brother's an actor, and he had an accent tape, and he told me, repeat after me. So all of you repeat after me. Whale.
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 Isle.
Isle.
Whale.
Beef.
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 Hucked.
Hucked.
Whale.
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 Oil.
Boil.
Oil.
Beef.
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 Hucked. Okay, now we're going to do it more quickly. Whale.
Whale.
Oil.
Oil.
Beef.
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 Hucked.
Hucked.
Whale, oil, beef,
Old
hucked.
beef. Fuck.
Whale. Oil. Beef. Huck.
Whale, oil,
Oh.
beef, hucked.
Oh
Oh,
no.
right, yes.
So-
right, yeah.
I learned the Irish accent pretty well. It's really over the like. It's a fine time to be alive in Ireland. But when I started, after I felt like I had that down, and I didn't break out in public for like 2 years, but when I felt like I had that down, I started to do the Scots accent, learn that, and then when I tried to go back to the Irish accent, I couldn't do either one. It just totally destroyed both of them. Although now I can do both, but the Aussie and the New Zealand accent, there's still things that I'm working out the fine details on. So I appreciate your saying that was good.
I may actually confuse you with my accent, actually, because I was born in London, lived 11 years in Wales, moved back to England, so and now I live in the Midlands, so this is like a mix of the Welsh accent and the English accent together, and we don't all sound like we come from London.
It's interesting. I had a panel where there was a guy that sounded like he was half Irish, half Scottish, and it was driving me nuts because it's like, where is this guy from? And I'm like beating myself up inside because I should know, because I've been following all these Commonwealth accents. And so finally I just, was willing to make a complete idiot of myself. And I said, dude, you sound like you're from Ireland and then you moved to Scotland. And he was like, exactly. That's exactly what happened. You got it. You nailed it. And I was like, well, that doesn't really help.
It's funny you should say that, because every time Sporking News watches one of my videos, he thinks I'm Scottish. And I'm not Scottish.
Stupid bugger.
Every time I go in the channel, I say, I'm not Scottish, but he keeps on calling me Scottish. I have no idea why. Okay, the new.
Andy Masterson says, I have a Philly/South Jersey accent. And he also has a link, so he can join us anytime he likes.
He does magnificent work.
He does magnificent work.
Oh yeah, it's really
Captain
good.
Trek is in the chat. Keck44 is in the chat. Hail. Good to see everybody here. Happy 4th of July. Yeah, we had Andy on one of the Cardinal Sin and Friends. I think it was 3 weeks ago, and I made him big, and he was showing us about like the Doomcock action figure that he made, and all the head sculpts and everything, and we were all just like.
I know,
totally glued to the screen. Nobody else said anything. It was like the Andy Masterson show, which is cool because we were all really into it. But
you could do a whole show on his stuff, yeah.
We did.
yeah. That's right.
His stuff is amazing. Plus, I've always been into martial arts, and he's not only a martial art practitioner, but he's also a teacher. So he talked about that. So yeah, the whole thing literally was like Andy Masterson's show after the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I used to do judo a long time ago.
Judo's good.
Yeah.
Don McDouglas says, maybe he says you're Scottish because he watches the Critical Drinker channel and he's Scottish. To be honest, the accents look alike.
English and Scottish is completely different.
Totally.
Yeah,
although I have to say, I love the Critical Drinker. I also love Bowles Trek. That's a great channel. If you haven't checked out Bowles Trek, you should. He's back on YouTube, and
nice.
Yeah.
I am subscribed to both.
Same here.
Rob, were you about to say something?
Actually, yeah, I wanted to say too before we got too far from the from the Queen from the Queen song
discussion. Yeah.
Has anybody? You should look if you haven't heard this, you should look this up. Somebody actually took "We Will Rock You," and they separate the stomps and the claps. So it's technically a two-part song, and like the first part of the song you hear stomp, 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 stomp. You don't hear any clapping,
Mm-hmm.
And then the second part of the song you hear clap, 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 and like all I can say is like you just gotta see it to believe it. I can't. It's just.
I probably won't. So let's get your summation of what it was like.
It's just side splitting because your mind keeps. I mean, because your mind is programmed to hear the stomp, stomp, clap, stomp,
right.
stomp, clap, right? But like then when you just hear a constant stomp, 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 and then the latter half of because it's split into two parts and it's like each part is comes out to like 125 each, and like
that would be so annoying. There's no way I'm gonna listen to that, dude. Sorry.
And no, I get it. And like
I take my Queen seriously. I take the Time Prophet's Queen seriously.
It's not my Queen. I only live here.
She's not my bloody Queen.
She's not my Queen.
She's not my bloody Queen.
I can do John Wayne.
The funniest video removing the musical tracks is that bit with David Bowie and Mick Jagger doing, Dancing in the Street. I mean, if you ever seen that, it's pretty.
Which
hilarious.
one? Dancing in the Street.
Remember that video they did, Dancing in the Street?
Vaguely.
Way back when they did, and then someone went in and took all the music out and put in like just like it's the background room sounds, and that they're just lip syncing, so they're just singing. And yeah, I mean it's hilarious.
That sounds really funny. That I would watch.
You should try the movie Free Jack with Mick Jagger. That's so funny.
Oh, I love Free Jack.
I'm going to get you.
Robert Sheckley, one of my favorite science fiction writers.
Yeah, it's a
He
brilliant
wrote that.
film, but Mick Jagger is so funny in the part.
Greetings, Ivan Ivanovich, who continues to win all the books, CDs, DVDs in my show, Into the Fringe. He is a perennial winner. You have to be there to win, so he shows up and, wins most of the prizes. We have a giveaway every week, and he's gotten the giveaway almost every week.
So he's the reigning champion.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah.
He's just extremely lucky. Although the last one that we had, no, the second to last one, the penultimate episode, a lady that was going to be on the panel, it was our Timothy Green Beckley Memorial Roundtable because he had died the week before, and he's known as Mr. UFO. And he's put out tons and tons of publications and books over the years. And two of the guests had gifts for the giveaway, and she won both of them. So she was very lucky. Or she was in on it. I don't know. But Don McDouglas says, Yvonne gave me that book you got from Albert. Too expensive on Amazon. Yeah. He's putting out actually second editions in softcover, and you can also buy the Kindle version much less expensively. I think those are probably like $3.99 or something like that. So, yeah, Ivan Ivanovich says, I didn't win anything that night. I'm running about 3 for 6. That's pretty good. Okay, so Douglas, I have a feeling that you're probably going to be the first of us to go. So let's get whatever is off your chest, and then we'll plug your channel and whatever else you're doing.
Well, I think. Are you hopeful for since you're a big science fiction guy? Are you hopeful for the new Dune coming?
I am.
Yeah,
I am.
I mean, so far what I've seen of it looks pretty good.
I haven't seen a Denis Villeneuve movie that I didn't like.
Yeah.
So I think that he's taking it seriously. I think that it's going to be one of those things where, like on Rotten Tomatoes, which no longer matters.
No,
it's going to be like the critics pan it, and the fans will love it, and it won't make its money back, so it won't make a sequel. They really should have shot both movies at the same time.
Yeah.
Hey, greetings, Canadian Spider-Man.
Wow.
Hello.
How's that?
Hi.
Hey,
Fantastic. I did.
So is it Canada Day?
That's on the
July
first.
1st.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bummer.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you sound great.
Okay. Well, thank you, sir. Sorry I'm late. I just had to check. There was an announcement on our community Facebook page. Someone had said that we were put on forest fire evacuation notice, so I just had to check that real quick.
Ooh,
Confirmed.
wow.
It is not true. It was a rumor. It is absolutely not true. I confirmed it. So,
but it's
we're
still
on high
hotter than a
alert.
witch's tit out there.
Yeah, I don't know how long I'm going to be able to stay in the house and do this. I might have to head to the lake, but there's no service there. But I'm glad to be here. I'm glad.
We're glad to have you. We're glad to have you. And just in time, Douglas, would you please plug all of your stuff, and if you'd be so kind to put the channel link in the private chat for your YouTube channel, which I recommend everyone subscribe to. I will put it into the regular comments.
All right, let me go catch it. There it is. Here it comes in the chat. There we go.
I love your channel, Doug. You have so much fun, and you're so funny. You're a very talented guy, and
Well, thank you very much.
It's really I just have to say thank you for coming and spending even a little time with us.
Yeah, unfortunately, I got to go to my real job. That's how these things work. But yeah, the channel is the Nelson Ratings. There's a bunch of other stuff. There's my audio plays that I put on it as well. But Nelson Ratings is the main bit where I review new and old shows and films and what have you. And even comic books just did one of those today. So,
Oh, really?
yeah, the Allegiance Arts books, Red Rooster and Bass Reeves, and those, I highly recommend them. They're really good.
I really like your Doctor Who stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's another one I'm doing. All the old shows I've been going through. them.
Did you do a Blake 7 thing, or was that
Yes,
just me?
I've done.
Yeah.
I've done the first 2 seasons of Blake 7.
I thought so.
Yeah,
I
and I'll
met
move
Gareth
on.
Thomas. I met Gareth Thomas a few years ago.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Isn't he
the-
dead?
Yeah, he is
dead now,
dead.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
now
Well,
he's
Well,
dead.
lucky you.
In Worcester. He had white hair and a big white beard.
Yeah.
I walked past
Yeah,
him, I
I
didn't
met-
recognize him.
I met.
Yeah.
Oh damn it! What's the name of the guy who played Avon?
Oh, Paul Darrow.
Paul Darrow.
Oh,
I
yeah.
met Paul Darrow.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
There used
And I
to be
think
a convention in
popular-
Chicago called
Yeah.
Visions. It was a fan convention, and it was all like British science fiction. And so,
He would have made a great master if they'd have given him the opportunity.
oh yeah, that would have been great.
absolute amazing. But
I met Robert Llewellyn and Danny John Jules from Red Dwarf, and got them to sign my
Oh, cool.
postcard. And I had a really interesting run-in with John Pertwee. My friend and I arrived late and were like holding our luggage, and John Pertwee just finishes his speaking engagement, and he slides out like the side door into the main, tunnel, whatever, hallway, going to the front desk, and he's fully dressed in all of his stuff. He's got his cuffs and his cloak,
Oh, yeah.
and everything, and he's all he looks like the doctor. And and this was, I don't know, 1990 something, and he says, "Just arrive," and I was totally agape. I was like, I couldn't move. I was a deer in the headlights. And thankfully, my friend said, "Yes, yeah, we just got here," and he said something like, "Well, have a good time," and I'm still like frozen. I can't move, And then finally, I shake it off, and I say to my friend, I can die now. And when we got back home, my friend told me that John Pertwee heard what I said, and he turned around and winked. And that just made me like a 14-year-old girl, wet to the knees.
That is awesome.
yeah,
That was a really strange way to meet him, but I did meet him.
it's still a good story though. You got a wink out of it. All right, I gotta go. Thanks for having me on, and I want to
Yeah.
say thank you to Andy Masterson in the chat. He gave me a nice compliment about my artwork and all that. So,
And he's correct.
well, thank you very much. So, everybody have a good time, and for all involved, have a happy 4th of July.
And you as well. And, have fun at work if you can do so.
Well, I'll try to.
To the
It
degree
gets
that
pretty
you
weird
can.
over there.
It's weird over there. They make me work.
Yeah, yeah, that's the weirdest part. They expect me to work for that.
They expect me to work. And I'm like, hey, I'm working here. I'm working here.
All right, bye-bye, everybody.
All right. We'll see you, Doug.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Later.
All right. Always good to have Douglas Nelson on. Please subscribe to his channel. It's really, really good. It's very fun. He's a funny guy. Excellent artist. He sent me a couple of cartoons that he drew on my Twitter today, and they were outstanding. So please subscribe to Douglas Nelson. You'll be glad you did. He's a great guy all around.
I'm a bit of a Doctor Who fan myself as well.
Yeah, I imagine.
Well, for 50 years, I've gone off it now.
Let's see. Yeah, no, I have to. I think Doctor Who has gone off. It's rotten
Yeah,
to the
it's
core.
It's not Doctor.
I say abandon Television Center. Get rid of everybody at Television Center. No more TV license fees. Make it a regular corporation. So, it has to make money or die. And then they'll get rid of all the woke crap, in Doctor Who. And I don't think Doctor Who is going to come back. I think it's dead. I think it's not. I mean, they're going to try and put somebody, in as the what 13th Doctor now, or would it be the 14th?
Well, apparently in the 13th season they're putting Tom Baker back in it again, which I don't have anything to do with the 13th Doctor. He doesn't want to ruin his image by going into that show.
No. But it was good to see him as the caretaker.
Yes, it was.
That was awesome.
Matt Smith was a pretty decent Doctor, so but now it's woke as hell.
Yeah, it is, and just after, I guess, the 50th anniversary, Day of the Doctor, Night of the Doctor, all that stuff. When I saw Paul McGann, I was like, he looks exactly like he did in that 1996 episode. Give him three series. Just do 3 series on the 8th Doctor, and of course, we'd have to wait until they did refill Television Center with proper, creatives and people that don't think that they have to follow this mandate from I guess it's from the government, right? That they have to show.
Hate the BBC. The government hate the BBC at the moment.
Oh, okay,
In
good.
fact, Boris Johnson's trying to cancel the BBC now.
Good. More power to him. Not in general, but in this case, the whole what do they call the mandate? Some sort of identity politics mandate where everybody that's on the screen has to represent the UK percentage. You know what I'm talking about.
It's not really the UK percentage. Like they got the percentage way out of control. I mean, there's much more on the BBC than there is in real life.
I remember one of those guys, the Critical Drinker, or one of the maybe it was Mr. H reviews, said that no, it was Dave Cullen, said that the actual breakdown percentage of white people in the UK is at 45%. So they're actually a minority now. So, oppressed minority, man.
Yeah, the same in Vancouver.
Yeah?
Yeah, apparently, it's Vancouver is no longer predominantly white. More than 51% identify as other than white. But there's been a lot of Asian influx over the last couple of decades.
20, 30 years, yeah.
How many
Absolutely.
identify as pink elephants?
In Vancouver, at least a dozen.
So what does that mean for the greater, scheme of things?
Well, it means we have a really good selection of restaurants. I'll tell you that much. Authentic Asian restaurants. Yeah. Aside from that, I did study political science, but I'm at a loss. I don't know.
I'm not sure poli-sci really helps here.
Why is all
No.
the science fiction being filmed in Vancouver now, though? You got the CW there. You got Dark
Used to have Stargate. Yeah.
The Canadian dollar is much. Well, I think we're only 80 cents to the dollar now. I'm
81
guessing.
last I checked.
81
right.
cents to the American dollar, or vice versa?
Yeah. Yeah, no.
I believe
81 of our
X-Files was
cents,
filmed in Vancouver,
or 81
wasn't
of
it?
your cents.
Right. So the Canadian dollar is above the American dollar again.
No,
Or still, I'm not sure.
Reverse.
Oh,
no,
so
we're weaker.
for your 81 cents, for our 81 cents, you have $1.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bloody Canadians, anyway.
I'm watching things mainly from the 80s at the moment. I've been watching The Bionic Woman, The $6 Million Man, and if you look really carefully, all the sets are the same. It's all California. Everything's California. You can recognise the same tree.
Oh, yeah.
There's a Airwolf, right? There's when Airwolf lands in a foreign country, it's the beach in California. When Jamie Summers
Yep.
is on an island, it's the same beach in California with the same shaped rock at the
Yep.
back.
Yep.
They all
and I'm
shoot
pretty-
at Kingdom Rocks or whatever.
Yeah.
It's that place where in the original series Captain Kirk fought the Gorn. You know those rocks that jut out.
Yeah, I know it, yeah.
They actually filmed some of Star Trek Picard there. Oh God.
I refuse
But,
to watch the card. I refuse.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good for
same
you.
here.
It'll
It's
melt
not
your
Star Trek.
brain and actually, I didn't think this would happen, but if you go back and try and watch The Next Generation after having seen Picard, it's just it's garbage. It's like
No.
it ruined the whole thing.
Yeah.
I just seen pictures of Picard, and that's as far as I want to get close to it, because I like The Next Generation. I don't want to ruin my memory.
Exactly. Yeah, and I didn't think that would happen. Vasquez rocks. Thank you, Ivan Ivanovich. I don't know why I said Kingdom rocks. Probably because I have a really bad memory.
I think The Invaders was filmed there as well, in the same place.
Really? That's cool.
Or very close, because you can tell by it hasn't changed much in about 40 years.
Ivan Ivanovich says season 1 of TNG ruined TNG.
Actually, the first season of Next Generation was bad, and the acting was really wooden.
They were still finding their feet, yeah.
Yes, but it got better.
But they got better.
I have
I
not
got
seen
better.
any Picard, and I watched the very first episode, Encounter at Farpoint, just a few days ago. Didn't ruin anything for me. It was beautiful.
Oh, good. So, you've seen TNG before, or is this your first time?
Oh, no, I grew up with TNG.
Okay, yeah.
Absolutely. All through
you've
university.
seen all of Picard, is that what you said?
Zero. None
Oh.
of Picard. So
Yeah, well,
it hasn't ruined TNG for me. I'm just reinforcing what you're saying. If
Right.
you haven't seen it, you might still be able to enjoy it. I heeded Doomcock's warning, so I didn't
Good.
watch any of it.
Good. Doomcock's warnings are, I mean, it's always hashtag Doomcock was right?
Yeah. Exactly.
I am
He's,
actually envious of Canadian Spider-Man because I like due south, and that's set in Canada.
I actually
That
have
was
never
good.
seen The Invaders. I should see that. Where can I
The
see
Invaders
it?
is so good.
Is
I
it
can't tell you
on
where to
a
see it
streaming
because,
service?
I've got the DVD, so I can't tell you where to see it. But it doesn't. The story doesn't finish. I will warn you. It doesn't end.
They
There
get
is
cancelled?
There was a 3-part miniseries made in the early 2000s, but it was really bad. With Scott Bakula,
Bacula?
Oh,
or as you say it,
Is it the same actor as the guy who plays Archer on Enterprise?
Enterprise, yes.
Scott Bakula.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that guy. Always have since Quantum.
Oh, yeah,
Leap.
me too.
And
Same here.
he
I
was
thought
one
he
of
was
my
a great captain,
favorite captains.
you know?
Yes.
He
100%.
really made Enterprise work. And I saw interview footage with I guess it was the 20th anniversary. So CBS and their infinite wisdom had a reunion, a Zoom reunion. And welcome, Captain Trek.
Thank you.
Just in time for the Enterprise discussion.
Hail, Captain Jack.
Everybody on the panel who was there. Unfortunately, Jolene Blaylock wasn't there. I don't know why, but everybody else was there, and they all said that on the set, Scott Bakula was like the father figure. he made them all feel comfortable. He helped them all, you know, because they were maybe not first-time actors, but it was their first big series together. And as an ensemble cast, they helped, you know, they were helped by Scott Bakula, not just, you know, because he played the captain, but he was very generous as an actor and helped them with advice, and they felt like they could come to him and ask questions about stuff because he'd been, you know, a lead actor for a long time by then.
Right.
So, and then of course,
awesome
since he was on the panel, yeah, he was very gracious about, you guys did fine on your own.
Yeah, I just
Anybody
like that
seen
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One of my
he's
favorite
cool.
roles of him, I remember, is in he was in
Eat that mic, Rod. Eat that mic.
Has anybody sorry?
There you go.
Anybody seen? I remember him in Necessary Roughness. That was one of my favorite roles of him.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that was good, Rod. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't
Good
seen
movie.
it because I'm not a fan of American football.
Oh.
Oh, it's
I'm a
nothing
soccer
about
guy.
football. Not really.
But I mean, that's what they're.
No, it's
isn't Necessary Roughness? Isn't oh, what the hell is his name?
Sinbad?
No.
yes, and there was
Magnum
an Aussie in
PI.
there.
Who played Magnum PI?
Tom Selleck.
Oh,
Isn't he in that?
No, he's not.
Is
Not
there
that
a
I
football
remember.
movie that he's in? That I'm misremembering.
Replacements? No, he wasn't in that.
I don't remember. But anyway,
Longest Yard?
yeah.
haven't seen it.
There's a movie you should all watch called Lord of Illusions. That's got Scott Bakula.
Oh, that's great. Yeah,
Really
Clyde
good.
Barker. Yeah,
I'm googling
excellent
that
movie.
right now.
As a matter of fact, I should watch it again. It is a great movie.
Now, Necessary Roughness is about football, like the Bad News Bears was about baseball.
Oh, okay.
That sort of setup.
Well, in that
Yeah,
case, I guess.
In the
I
same
know,
vein
it's
as
baseball.
Major League.
Major
Sorry.
League.
Yeah.
Yeah, or
Is that
slapstick.
the Madonna movie?
Or slap shot.
No. Madonna movie was a League of Her Own. League of Their Own.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, Major League is the one with Charlie Sheen.
You know,
I like Charlie
Charlie
Sheen.
Sheen used to be a pretty good actor before he, you know, went crazy with drugs and prostitutes and
Yeah.
all that
Yeah.
stuff. Back, you know, in the 80s, he and Emilio Estevez were
Yes.
kind of, I think, competing with each other a little bit. But I really
Yeah, I
liked the scene in whatever the comedy is, the thing that's sort of like the Naked
Men at Work?
Gun, whatever it is, where they're
Hot Shots.
Hot Shots, yeah,
Hot-
where they're
Yeah.
going down the river and Martin Sheen's going one way and Charlie Sheen's going the other way, and they were both like, "I loved you in Wall Street."
Yeah.
That's hysterical.
That was Hot Shots Part 2.
Yeah.
I have to say,
That's
my
a great
favorite,
movie.
my favorite Emilio Estevez movie is Maximum Overdrive, mainly because of the music, because AC/DC do the music.
My favorite
Oh my
Emilio
God, yes.
Estevez movie, hands down, is Repo Man. Repo Man is a great movie.
I don't think
Have
I've
you seen
ever
Repo
watched
Man?
that entire. No, I don't think I've seen the entire film.
There's
Yeah.
something that connects Repo Man to a couple of other movies, and it's not really a spoiler. I think it's probably in the trailer, but you should watch it. It's a fun movie. But there's like something in the trunk of this car that he's repoed, and when you open the trunk, there's this huge shining light. You know, it's almost like the Raiders of the Lost Ark. You know, like don't look. It's just this, you know, blinding light, And there are a couple of other movies that have that same thing where there's this blinding light coming out of the trunk. So they're not really affiliated, but only loosely, because they all have these weird, blinding lights coming out of the trunk, which is, I guess, sort of a mystery box type thing, except Repo Man is anything but that kind of writing. It's, good, solid show.
If you like Tom Selleck, you should really get into Jesse Stone as well. He's made about 8 films, and they're really good. He's
Jesse Stone?
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Him. It's really good. He's made 7 or 8 films, but it's really good. If you like detective stories. But if you watch them in chronological order, you might be confused, because the first one starts and the second one goes back in time. But after that, they're really good films.
That sounds pretty good. Oh, Jacob Archer Barton says Tom Selleck baseball movie is called Mr. Baseball.
Oh, yeah.
And Ivan Ivanovich says, I originally watched Repo Man because Michael Nesmith was involved. I did not know.
From the Monkees?
Yeah. Was he in the movie? Or maybe a producer or something? I don't know. I didn't realize he was involved. But I grew up, listening to the Monkees, the Beatles. When my brother left for college, he's almost 10 years older than I am. He's like 9.5 years older than I am. He left like his 8-track and his records and his turntable and everything. So I would like sneak into his room and listen to the 8-tracks that he had, which were, the Beatles and the Monkees and all that kind of thing. And as it turned out, of course, he left it there on purpose. So I would do that. And it had a really
nice
big effect. Yeah. It had a really big effect on me musically as a musician. By the time I got into punk bands when I was 15, I had music theory down, man.
Nice.
It didn't hurt that my dad is an internationally renowned composer and violinist, and that I inherited perfect pitch from him. But I think equal parts, my brother leaving that stuff for me to discover, Zach 7 is here, and he says, I think Tom Selleck was supposed to be Indiana Jones. Well, thank goodness he wasn't.
He might have been good. He was in a few films similar to Indiana Jones, and they were good.
Might have been good. Ivan Ivanovich says, before that, Michael Nesmith does a Laserdisc program called Elephant Parts. It was hilarious. And then, of course, there's always Head, the wacky, psychedelic Michael Nesmith movie.
Honestly, I think Tom Selleck he wouldn't have been bad. I think it would have been different, but I can see
he would have been really different.
Yeah,
I personally
still
think
see him bringing something good.
Yeah, no, he would have been okay, but I really think that Harrison Ford is a better actor all around.
Tom Selleck was in a movie called Quigley Down Under, and he had the cowboy hat.
Yes, he was.
He looked the part. He could,
I love that. I thought that was a great movie. Yeah.
Did they do a sequel to that?
I liked it.
I don't believe so.
No.
I don't remember seeing one.
I hope not. They don't need it. They don't need it. It was a good movie.
They don't need it.
Stand on
right.
its own.
Yeah, I agree.
Same as Highlander, where they never, ever, ever did another sequel of Highlander. There is only one, and I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
I like Highlander too. I'm the only one. I'm the only one in the world.
I remember being in the theater with my girlfriend. I think it was for The Crow, or maybe it was the Prophecy. I don't remember which movie it was, but the trailer for the Highlander 3 comes on, and then at the end, it goes Highlander 3, and somebody in the audience shouted, "The apology!"
I didn't think much of Highlander 3. It was like a rehash of Highlander 1.
Yeah. Again, completely unnecessary film.
Yeah, because you're going back in time, you want the story to move forward, not go back again.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I think Harrison Ford brings a kind of, for lack of better explanation,
gravitas,
smart aleckness, smart assness.
Much better than I think
character.
Tom Selleck could do.
Agreed. Yeah.
And Ivan Ivanovich says Alan Rickman was the villain in Quigley Down Under. Well, I'll have to see that. I love me some Alan Rickman.
Damn good film.
It is.
He was also Marvin the Paranoid Android.
Yes, which
was rubbish.
You know, I like the movie. I really prefer the old TV series.
TV series is the best, and the books is even better than that. And I've got all 6 seasons of the audio play. The
TV show actually used actors who were in the radio play, which were before the books. It started out as a radio play. And of course, I've read all the books.
The radio play was first, and then the TV series came, and then
it was radio play, books, TV series.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the movie and whatever else. They were trying to put a movie together for so long. I remember seeing a coffee table book of the movie, and it had all different actors than actually ended up in the movie. And it looked like it would have been a horrible movie.
Well, the movie was actually rather horrible because they had all the cast, they had all the story, but they forgot to make it funny.
Some of it was funny. I think that as good as Mos Def was, I really think it should have been a British actor. I mean, it's a British property, intellectual property, whatever you want to call it. So having an American in it kind of spoiled it, because Ford Prefect is, you know, I don't remember that actor's name, but the guy that did it in the TV series, he was perfect for the role. He looked weird.
Mark Wing Davey.
No, he was Zaphod Beeblebrox.
Oh yes, hang on. Yes, you're right, yes.
So I know my stuff that I don't forget.
Who are we talking about again? I've gone blank.
Ford Prefect.
Oh, Ford Prefect. That was what's his name? Oh, I know him.
Which I always thought was Romana's brother because they look so similar. But they're probably not related. In the meantime, hey, Captain Trek.
Yes, sir.
Glad to see you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on.
Welcome. By the way, I
appreciate
you coming on my my stream the other day.
I'm sorry, I talked over the first part of that.
No, I appreciate that you've been on my.
I thought you might have said something else. Yeah. Thanks for having me on. I apologize that I inflamed the entire panel.
Oh, it was fun. Actually, it was fun. I like having a discussion, and if everybody agrees on everything,
it's a echo chamber.
Boring. Exactly.
Yeah.
No, that's what I appreciate about Cardinal Sin's channel.
It was David Dixon.
Thank you.
David Dixon.
That's it, David Dixon. Yeah.
And he always stood out to me because he had two. His eyes were different colours.
Oh, really?
Like
David Bowie.
Yeah.
What is that called? Something chromatic.
I'm not sure, actually.
It's Cardinal Sin, the guy with a really horrible memory. So let's have him have a show. Give him several shows on YouTube. He can't remember shite.
I can remember everything unless I'm asked a question, and then I'll go blank on everything.
Yeah.
Which is why when I do scripts, I write everything down.
do you remember, did David Dixon do anything else of note that you can recall?
He did a few. I've seen him in many programs. He's done a few things like detective programs and stuff like that later on.
Mm-hmm.
I had very white hair later on last time I saw him.
I bet you don't remember the title of the show.
No, hang on, I can find out.
I could IMDb him, I suppose.
Yeah.
But Captain, I was going to ask you before we get too far away from the Enterprise
Yes.
topic. I was curious to get your opinion on the show and also specifically the casting of Scott Bakula as Archer.
Honestly, at the time, I hated it.
A lot of people did.
When it was first on, because all I could see was
heterochromia. That's it. Thank you, Zach.
heterochromia. I was actually had looked it up, but at the time, I was going, "Oh, great, Captain Scott Beckett."
Right.
No, but I know his name was Sam Beckett, but it's just like
Since then, your opinion has changed.
Oh, absolutely.
And what do you think now?
There are a few episodes I go, but overall, I do like Enterprise.
Yeah. I find myself going back to Enterprise and rewatching that more than any of the other shows.
I am the only person who likes the music from Enterprise.
Yeah, you are. Literally, on the planet.
I love the theme tune. I just love it.
It's been a long time. We're getting from there to here.
Yes.
What's to it, not Russell Watson for years.
The fate of the heart.
I'm sorry.
Everybody's holding their ears and bleeding out of their ears.
I'm old, I admit it, but I like Star Trek having an orchestral theme.
Oh, I do too. It's the only way to go.
Yeah, but it was going back in time, so it was before they got the horns in. They brought them in later.
Well, it was also after Jerry Goldsmith had died, so... Actually, no, that's not true. He could have done the score. He just didn't, for some reason. But, originally, I'm sure Captain knows this, they wanted to make the first season of Enterprise sort of like The Right Stuff. So they don't really get off the planet until the end of the first season, originally. Right. And then... for some reason, it might have been Rick Berman, I don't know, said no, we've got to move it along. We'll look back at it and show that the Vulcans were holding, the warp drive project back. But I don't know. I might have enjoyed it if it'd been sort of the best, The Right Stuff. There's an episode, anyone that's seen the series I'm sure will remember, and Captain Trek, you can maybe back me up on this. The one that had so spacing his name. The episode that's a flashback to when he and this other guy were sort of jockeying for position for the first captain.
Yes.
Mark. I can't believe I don't remember his name. He was in Deadwood. He's Kwai Chang Cain's brother. Who played Kwai Chang Cain? Kill Bill. Bill.
David
Carradine.
Carradine, yeah. So Mark Carradine, I think, is the name of the guy that played that captain. Do you remember what I'm talking about, Cap?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do. It was, the funny thing was, I liked the fact that they were showing that it wasn't necessarily going to be Archer
Mm-hmm.
to be the first captain, because his father's involvement in the project, and he actually had to fight for it. So it wasn't a given thing.
Yeah, and I think that the original idea was for the first season to sort of be like that episode was in the flashbacks. It actually occurs with Archer and T'Pol trying to find like a dark matter nebula or something like that, and she's asking him about this friend of his that died, and so that's the backdrop on which the flashback occurs. Have you guys all seen that?
I have not.
Yes,
Oh,
a while ago.
I was waiting for
Yes.
the episode where Paul Frost poos on the carpet and somebody steps in it, but that never happened.
So you haven't seen it. So
Right.
we have 2 no's and a yes. So 3 out of 5 on the panel.
I did start rewatching Enterprise again just recently, and it is just so rewatchable. The
It
dynamic,
holds up really well.
the dynamic between Scott Bakula and Malcolm Reeves, is it the security officer?
Malcolm, whatever.
Yeah.
Reed, yeah.
Reed.
Yeah, Malcolm Reed. Yeah, that's right. And it's just phenomenal. And the engineer, of course, Trip. Yeah,
Connor.
their dynamic.
Connor. Yeah.
The actor, yeah. Their dynamic sort of,
Connor
in a
Trenier,
way,
that's
reminded
his
me
name.
of the dynamic between Bones and Spock and Captain Kirk,
Yeah, a
in
little
my
bit.
humble opinion.
I tell you what I didn't like about Enterprise. The hull plating thing was a replacement for shields eventually. Every time they
Right.
got hit, the hull plating is getting thinner, but it's really
Right.
the shields. We all know
Yeah.
this.
Well, I mean, is it the second season where they go through the expanse and they have to put a certain metal into the hull plating so that they'll be impervious to the temporal weird things that go through the ship? You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah, I do.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, I think you're
So,
right.
I think that's what
That
they're
does
talking
sound
about.
familiar.
But yeah, they didn't have shields.
I actually kind of liked that because it did show that they progressed in time versus having these huge leaps where all of a sudden,
Yeah.
Like in the 4th season when they knew they were going to get canceled and they gave the show to Manny Koto, who is a big trekker, and he hooked up everything to, the original series.
Yeah.
He's a gourd. I loved their 2-part Through a Glass Darkly, the Mirror Universe story in the 4th season. I think it's the best Mirror Universe Trek story, even though Deep Space Nine did like 7 or 9 or something of those, and they were really good. I really enjoyed the Enterprise one the most.
Dark Matter did a Mirror Universe story as well. But what I liked about the Dark Matter
Did
story
they?
was
What season?
it was a parallel. It's in season 2, and I think it's repeated again in season 3.
Oh, cool.
But what I liked about the Dark Matter Mirror Universe is that the people in the Mirror Universe were not the complete opposite of the people in this universe. They were
Right.
Some of them were almost the same.
Mhm.
So whereas in Star Trek everybody has to be they has to be evil and good, if you know what I mean.
except for Colm Meaney's character, O'Brien. O'Brien's sort of like O'Brien. He's been trod on, and he's kind of meek and mild and doesn't have the the leadership sort of quality that he does in the regular series. But
the other thing is, in the original series, Bones was also, very similar, because that's why the Mirror Universe Spock went to him to get the information because he
About-
knew that about what happened to the crew,
Oh,
why they're acting funny.
yeah. And on the other, in our universe, they immediately knew and locked him up because it's easy for people who aren't barbarians to act like barbarians, but it's not so easy for barbarians to act civilized or something like
Exactly.
Yeah.
Biden's managing to do it.
that.
Biden is managing to do it.
I still
I
can't
thought
tell
this was
who.
going to be a...
Oh, forget it.
The doctor? Is that what you said?
No, no.
I think I got the gist. Yeah,
Yeah, I caught it.
understood.
I missed it. So, anything else about Enterprise before we move on?
I would have liked to have seen a fifth season. 'Cause
I would have liked to
hearing
have
about-
seen a movie.
Yes.
I think
yeah,
that
yeah.
they should have done a movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, both of those things should have happened.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I like the spaceship. I like the NX-01 a lot.
I do too.
I've got the 10-inch die-cast model right in front of me from Eagle Moss, and it is beautiful.
Oh, wow. How much was that?
100.
I know that's kind of a gauche question. But
No, go ahead. You can ask me anything. I have no secrets, except for my identity.
Right.
120 Canadian, something like that.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Oh, nice.
I guess you can't show it on screen, huh?
I can. I'm working on that. Yeah, technical difficulties, but yeah.
Okay.
I'll.
Yeah,
I
whenever
might be able to.
whenever that's
I'm on my
convenient.
Yeah, I'd like to. And I've seen another version of it where it has some extra things attached to it. I'm not sure how I feel about that version of it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what Captain Trek? Do you know what I'm talking about? The other
Yeah,
version of the NX-01.
the secondary hull. Yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of like that. Although I'm not sure how it would have worked exactly, because you already had the all the systems involved in the primary, or what would have been the primary hull. And I don't know how.
Is the secondary hull like on top of the primary hull?
The secondary hull usually includes the engineering section and the warp nacelles.
Oh, okay. So I mean, they were part of the first one too.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes. So I don't know
I
how
kind
they
of
would
thought
have
that's what it was, but
redone it. Otherwise, it would have probably been more like the Enterprise D, where it could have separated, and that I wouldn't have liked.
yeah, that's too futuristic for that time period.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 100%. Agreed.
What did you guys think about the Xindi arc?
Too long.
Yeah.
Too long.
Too long.
Yeah, I agree with
I
that.
thought there were some really good episodes in there.
There were. I think it
Something
could have
a
been
lot of
half a
people
season.
don't know is that Jeffrey Dean Morgan played a reptilian in one episode. The guy from the comedian from Watchmen, or Negan from The Walking Dead.
He was
Right.
also in Supernatural. He played Sam and Dean's father in Supernatural.
Never seen Supernatural.
Yeah, it's worth watching. It gets a bit bad towards the end, but most of it's quite good.
What's the series that either just ended or is getting ready to end? Was that Supernatural?
Supernatural ended about 6 months ago now, I think.
Yeah, it went for a really long time, right?
Yeah, about 16. How many seasons?
Was that the show that started out like with a ghost, a zombie, and a vampire?
There's lots of it's mainly
Like
ghosts.
Living Together.
No, you're talking about another program. It started off as a British program, then went into American, I think.
Right.
What you mentioned.
And you can't remember it.
I can't remember it. There was a werewolf, there was a vampire.
A werewolf, yeah.
And there was a ghost.
Yeah. And I thought it was a ridiculous premise, so I didn't watch it.
The British one is quite good. I haven't seen the American version of it.
Hail, Rob Altus. Good to see you here. Yeah, so Supernatural must have been pretty good for going, 16 or 17 years? That's a really long time for a TV series to go.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if there's not a rotating cast, like in Taggart, the old Scottish murder program. They continued going after Mark McManus, the guy who played Taggart, had died. They just promoted somebody else, and they kept calling it Taggart.
The series you were talking about, Cardinal, is Being Human.
Inhuman?
It's got a ghost, a vampire,
Being
and a
Human.
werewolf.
Being
Yeah.
human,
Yeah.
yeah.
Being
Yeah.
Human, yeah.
That's it.
Sorry, my accent flusters people.
No, you're just not eating the mic. It's hard to hear you.
I've got a headset mic on at the moment.
Well, you could get the microphone a little closer, or just speak up.
Is that better?
Much.
There we go.
Feels like it.
Let's. Are you going to show us your ship?
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can get it in there. I don't know what you can see.
Well,
yeah,
we can
this
see
is
your
right
identity, but
Yeah,
Okay,
don't show us.
yes.
Identity.
Yeah,
oh,
Yeah,
that's
there you
better.
go.
Yeah.
yeah.
Can
see
you
it like
can
that.
you turn it
Right.
about 90 degrees,
like this?
a
You
little
mean?
more, and then hold it up like to your face, because it's too
Yes.
bright.
Oh, right. Oh, okay.
There's Andy Masterson.
Hi guys.
Yeah,
How you doing, brother?
So far
Anyway.
so good.
very cool ship.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, that's
Very
cool.
Years
Sorry
ago,
about that. I'm not a videographer.
Yeah.
Years ago,
Evidently.
I was trying to,
No, I'm kidding.
his buddies were trying to do a little
Yeah.
Star Trek takeoff.
Thanks, Gil.
I was kidding.
I can take it. I got big shoulders.
It takes a big man to admit he's wrong, and I'm 6'3.5", so.
Holy crap! Are you really?
I used to be before I had my back problems. I think I'm 6'2" or 6'2.5" now. But, yeah, I had compression issues with two of my discs. They no longer compress, and so I shrank like 2 inches. Or an inch and a half. I don't know. I think I'm 6'2". Ivan Ivanovich says, well, they called it Blake 7 after Blake left, and there weren't 7 of them. That's a good point.
There was actually 7 because Zen was included as part of the 7.
Did
the computer called
Paul
Zen.
Darrow go for the entire show? Avon?
Yes, he did. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. Paul Darrow was in it till the end. Blake left at the end of season 2.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. I've only seen the first few episodes of the first season, which I know I should be beat about the Head and Shoulders with a wiffle ball bat for that. But it's in my queue. So
That's one of those I've never even seen. I have to get on that.
yeah. So how's it going, Andy?
Not bad. We just got hit with the rain. There's
Mhm.
dinner.
Hail, Andy.
The rain.
Hail,
was-
Andy. Indeed.
There you go.
How was everyone?
Oh, pretty good. Pretty good.
hot, damn hot. Hot.
Oh yeah.
Damn hot.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Florida.
I've been drinking iced coffee since I got up, so keep it cool in here. I really feel for the people that have been suffering under the heat dome in the Northwest, and I guess Canadian Spider-Man has had some temperature-related issues, right?
Oh yeah, no, we hit 115 degrees for a few days in a row.
Oh my God.
We've had the warmest overnight temperatures in Canadian history, I've been told, in some places last week. And we had a town burn to the ground, not far from Roddenau.
I heard about that.
Or not far. Sorry, not
Lytton,
far from
BC.
that 70s show. Yeah.
Lytton,
Yeah, it's about 180 miles from me.
Wow.
Linton.
It's
Lytton
about
with
the
an L.
same. Yeah, that's right.
That's horrible.
Yeah, apparently they
I
had
think the
20 minutes
climate
warning.
change data is in.
Yes.
Yeah,
Actually,
I agree.
it gets to 115 here where I live in northeastern Kansas at the hottest part of the summer. For about a week, it gets to like 110, 115 pretty much every year. This year, I'm not looking forward to it breaking records, but we've been breaking records every year for 20 years. So
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, it's getting hotter. There's more and more bikinis around downtown Vancouver.
well,
every year.
there is that, and I think I
Which is
mentioned
nice.
I mentioned to you via direct message that I like the wintertime because the girls are wearing sweaters and it sort of leaves more to the imagination.
Yes, you did say
But
that.
nothing wrong with
Yeah.
bikinis, man.
Yeah.
Ivan Ivanovich says it often goes untold that the Great Chicago Fire of 1871 happened during a massive heat wave. And because of Mrs. What's her name's
O'Leary.
cow, Mrs. O'Leary's
O'Leary's
cow.
cow.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, did anybody remember that urban legend that like Mrs. O'Leary's cow kicked over a candle or whatever, and it's a lantern, and it wound up burning the whole city down.
It's probably apocryphal, but it could have happened, Actually, there was a TV show or a movie. Oh no, it's in the anthology that I have coming out. I have a science fiction anthology coming out, science fiction short stories, and one of the characters at the end of the story accidentally knocks over the lantern, and that starts the fire. Very, very clever story.
Yeah,
Am I live
I don't
now?
know.
Am I
I've
loud
got
now?
Don't
Oh, yeah.
all speak at once, but one of you speak, damn it. Canadian Spider-Man, go.
Yeah, Time Prophet. I think your country did a better job because when they built castles, they built them out of stone. We've built ours out of wood, then they burned down, and we build them out of wood again, and they burn down. So, cheers for you guys for thinking ahead.
We built
Well,
ours out of
they
stone because
listened to
wood is too
the
wet.
Three Little Pigs better than Canadians.
No kidding. No kidding. We've had some incredible forts and structures here, incredible paintings of them and illustrations of them, but they're nowhere to be found these days.
I love castles. I think castles are really cool. I know there are a lot of castles in England, and when they shot Monty Python and the Holy Grail, they shot it in Scotland, and there was only one castle that would allow them to shoot there, or there was only one castle left in Scotland. I don't remember. It might have been both.
There's quite a lot of castles in Scotland, actually.
Yeah, there's a few in Scotland. There's a
All
few.
right.
There's a few.
It must have been the only one that would let them shoot there. And now I'm told it's like a tourist attraction because they shot there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm not
You know,
surprised.
the castle. Arg.
Who's going to take the time to carve R?
That's right. Yeah, that's so funny.
Perhaps
Who's
it's
going to
the
take the time to carve R?
We are the Knights of Ni.
We are the knights who no longer say ni. We are now the knights who say eki, 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 patang, zoop, boing, hung, how.
We want shrubbery.
We want a shrubbery. I love that movie.
I'm not even sure if those guys were taking a lot of drugs back then. I mean, they seem to be pretty intelligent. I don't know if they were, but
They were
how the hell
really
did they-
intelligent. Graham Chapman was a drunk.
Well, actually, George Harrison paid for that movie.
Yeah, he
Yes,
started
I heard
handmade
that.
films
Yeah.
with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they all came from Oxford, so they were very intelligent.
Yeah.
Yes, that's yeah. I did know.
And is that where they do Footlights, or is that Cambridge?
Good question. I'm pretty sure.
I keep stumping you on stuff that you should know.
I don't
went
live
to
in
Cambridge.
I live near Birmingham.
I did go to
30
Cambridge.
miles
It was an
north
afternoon trip.
Cambridge.
Oh, you went to Cambridge for the afternoon.
That's true.
I really like the Doctor Who episode. Shada. They
Yes.
shoot it at Cambridge, or the exteriors at least, and then they go see Doctor something Canitis.
Chronotis.
Chronotis, Dr. Chronotis,
Yes.
yeah. Who's the Time Lord, of course, at Cambridge. And
That
his,
was unfinished.
His study is bigger on the inside than it is on the outside.
Yeah, it was an unfinished episode because there was a BBC strike, so they didn't actually finish the story.
Oh,
which
is that
they've-
why?
Yeah, now they've remade it and added animation to fill in the bits now.
Yeah, I've seen that one, and it was pretty good. You know, I know that Douglas Adams actually wrote several episodes of Doctor Who when he was the executive script editor, and he wasn't supposed to, so he wrote them under different names.
Yes.
Like the Pirate Planet, I think he wrote.
Yes, he did.
One of
He
the,
did write that one. Yeah, yeah.
the Key to Time episodes.
Yeah.
Andy,
The Pirate Planet
are
is
you
one
a
of my favorite.
Doctor Who fan?
I watched very little of it back in the 70s.
Mhm.
Of course, at the time, I got spoiled on Star Wars and Battlestar Galactica, so
Yeah.
the special effects didn't quite measure up.
I got into Doctor Who in the 80s. And I was just hooked, man. I was a smitten kitten.
I
It
got
was
into
Tom
Doctor Who in the
Baker.
70s.
Was,
Yeah.
you know, the perfect introduction for an American science fiction fan. So
It's
I've
funny.
been a Whovian ever since.
All of the British humor that I grew up with, Benny Hill and Monty Python, I thought for sure I would have gravitated more to it, but there was always something. But back
All of the
then,
British humour you grew up with, Andy, has now been banned.
Yeah.
yeah,
I remember somebody told Doomcock that you can't get unaltered like Blu-rays of the original Monty Python's Flying Circus anymore.
It's never been repeated. It's never been repeated. The odd clips have been repeated, but the original series has never been repeated on the BBC.
It was on PBS over here all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, they just showed it over and over and over. I also remember they showed A Clockwork Orange because I snuck into my brother's room and he had the old black and white TV that my folks had before they got the color TV. And I watched Clockwork Orange when I was way too young to watch A Clockwork Orange. I didn't know that the milk had LSD in it.
I've never seen The Clockwork Orange. I saw a picture of it. That
it's
was enough
brilliant.
for me.
It's really good. You should.
I
As
like
soon as
Malcolm
you can.
McDowell, but I've never seen that movie.
Canadian
I'd like to.
Spider-Man. I understand you have to be leaving us soon. Can you tell us where we can find more about you online, and where your stuff is?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for asking. I do have my own YouTube channel, Canadian Spider-Man, and I have been putting a couple more videos up there recently. And
Cool.
just stuff from around the area where I live here. And I can also be found on Twitter. I reluctantly joined Twitter, and I'm Spider_Canadian there. And I'll put the link in the chat if I may, sir.
Spider__ Canadian.
Yes, sir. That's what Twitter designated me.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that they did that.
They did for me because I'm new and didn't know what I was doing.
Oh, okay.
I would assume.
Did they give you a choice of things and that was the least offensive?
No.
Or
No. I made the account and it was already.
There must be
there.
too many Canadian Spider-Men.
I've never met one, but there must be.
I wonder if there's a Canadian Miles Morales.
I'm sure. Somewhere in Toronto, definitely. But I'll put the link in the chat if I may, sir, and thank you for having me.
Please do.
As a Canadian, are you allowed to say Toronto or Toronto?
I think I have to say Toronto.
Yeah.
Toronto.
I think I'm obligated.
I had a Canadian friend, and he said Toronto.
Yeah, Toronto. Yeah, well, thank you for having me. It's been a great afternoon.
I'm still waiting for you to put your channel link in the private chat so I can share it in the comments. If you can.
I don't know if it's gonna let me.
Or your Twitter or what? Yeah, in the private chat you can put links to anything.
Excellent. Yeah. Thank you for having me this afternoon.
Yes, thanks for being here. Always nice when you're on the panel.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Are you on a laptop today?
I'm on my phone, and I'm not sure. I'm afraid if I copy it and put it in here that I'm going to close out StreamYard.
Oh.
Yeah,
well,
I seem to be having
good.
much. Yeah, no, it wouldn't. But everything else seems to be working fine. It's just that I'm a novice. You understand?
Yeah. No. Yeah. You look good. Sound good.
No, fantastic.
I told Viva of Viva and Barnes that I was surprised the province lets him vlog in English.
They have to learn both English and French, so yeah.
Well, of course.
I'm surprised they don't make them do the blog in both languages. That's a surprise.
In my show Into the Fringe, my UFO paranormal show, somebody wrote in a couple of messages in the chat in French, and I only took French for 2 weeks in high school before I dropped out. My pronunciation was pretty good, but I obviously didn't keep it up, so I pretty much murdered what his comments were. Quebec, yeah, and another Canadian Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Okay.
How did that work? I think I just put it in there.
Let's give it a shot. So everybody,
I'm already
please subscribe to Canadian Spider-Man here. All right.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Huh.
And I hope things chill out, literally, and that you can go back to being
Normal
indoors
summer.
rather than having to camp out by the lake.
Yeah, that is actually where I'm headed here very shortly. But have a great afternoon, and thanks.
Stay cool, brother.
Yeah, you as well.
Yeah, likewise. See you
Take
later.
care,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye now.
See ya.
Bye.
115. Wow.
So, Andy, what did you guys do today?
Well, I worked most of the morning. Then I went outside and did some gardening, put in some little vegetable boxes.
Cool.
Grow some cucumbers and tomatoes. Not that I've got much space, but it'll work.
You know, I remember reading somewhere, last year, the year before that somewhere they made it illegal to plant, vegetables like a garden on your own lawn.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, I mean, stuff's getting really bizarre. But
well, they had several years ago, they had a farm to table event out in Colorado, and the government came in and raided the place and
oh my gosh,
poured bleach.
Legal weed, but illegal veggies.
Yeah, because and you know why? Because there was no labels. No
chain of custody for the veggies.
I mean, it was just taken out of the ground and cooked, and it's insane.
So how's the Cardinal Sin action figure coming?
Well, I have to do some measurements. I've been looking around. I have to work on. I just finished up one that I have to send out in the mail tomorrow. So I've got the basic shape done. What I do is I'll start with a piece of wood and then put the clay on top so that I don't deform it. So I got the basic shape done so far. So
cool.
Fingers crossed.
Very much looking forward to it.
Sometimes they go quick. Sometimes they become problematic.
I still think it's a little narcissistic of one to have one's own action figure, but hey,
that's all right. So what? If you can't have yourself on your own shelf, how cool is it to have your favorite superheroes or movie characters and
exactly
make yourself a little bar scene and have a beer with Captain America or Spider-Man. That would be
make a little diorama where I'm hanging out with the Avengers.
Right. Oh, that way you could always have something to hand down generations.
Yeah.
If I had generations, yeah.
Well, you've got other family, I would think.
I have a niece who is getting a full ride scholarship at Penn.
Awesome.
And I had a nephew, I guess, who's now, I understand, trans. So she's my eldest niece at this point. I'm not really sure how I feel about that. I'm totally supportive of LGBTQ rights, but when it happens in one's own family, it's a little different. Because it seems almost like it's a fad,
Yeah, and I think the other part of that is tying one's identity to a physical body is not a good idea, because the body changes. It's what happens if you are in an accident? What happens if you suffer some kind of disease that disfigures you or robs you of the use of part of your body? Are you less?
Well, also, I looked up the buyer's remorse rate, the regret rate of people that have had, oh, damn it, what's it called?
Transitioning.
Sexual differentiation surgery or whatever. And it's rather high, especially in men that trans to women. The buyer's remorse rate is unusually high, especially now. I read an article from 2017, and it was really high then. It was like 20%, and I suspect it's even higher now.
Well, really, how much different can it be than like people that think that if they buy the right car, their life will be complete, or if they
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You have to deal with you, your body.
And the other thing Ivan Ivanovich brings up is that trans suicide rates are off the charts.
Mm-hmm.
Before and after.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And my niece is on hormones. She's 25 or so, and still lives at home with the parents, my sister and my brother-in-law, and I haven't had a conversation with her yet. I'm always the last to know, apparently. So I don't know, I just don't get it, but I'm supportive.
I don't get it either. I mean, what kind of relationship are they going to have? Because I don't think many men would want to go out with a man who turned into a woman, and vice versa. So they'd have to find somebody else who is trans, wouldn't they?
I don't know if they'd have to find somebody else who's trans. I've seen, television programs where, a man is with a trans woman and that kind of thing. Of course, there was the lesbian couple, or the homosexual male couple that had a baby because one had transitioned from a woman.
Having a son and a daughter, you see very quickly that there are profound differences in the mentality and the thinking process between boys and girls at the youngest of ages. I remember when we first moved into this house, we had it was the first time we had a staircase, and my daughter is 3 years old, and I'm walking by the stairs, and she's up on the third stair, and she just yells, "Daddy," and she dives, and I have to leap to catch her.
Yeah.
And my son's like a step behind her. He's 3 years older than her. So I say to him, do you want to try it? And he's like, and he's calculating. And in that moment, I realized she's
the
thinking,
difference.
She's thinking, I'm jumping and you better catch me.
Right.
And he's thinking, can I make it? So there's a profound difference there in the way that the thought process just works.
Yeah. And the Time Prophet mentions that they can't sew the bits back on either. Actually, I looked into that. That's not the case. They can reverse the surgery. It's very expensive, and it's somewhat. It's not easy to do, but it's possible. But I don't think it's ever the same,
Yeah, I think it's a prosthesis, right? So it's kind of like, I look at it this way, that I think more of us should be trying to get our bodies to work as best as they possibly can first. Get yourself to a peak and see what you're able to do. Get to know yourself, get to know your body, what you can do.
Yep.
And if you're still not happy, check into yourself first. Find out what. Personally, I think a lot of this is first world problems. We've got life too good. So.
Yep, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
First world problems, indeed.
This didn't really exist when I was at school. I mean, there's people unhappy with their bodies, but they didn't think they were the wrong sex.
Well, go back to Monty Python. In Life of Brian. I want to be a woman. What you mean? You haven't even got a womb. Where are you going to gestate the baby in a box? They were really progressive for the time. You can't have a baby. You haven't got a womb. Where are you going to gestate it in a box? I love that. Anyway.
Was that all?
Well, honestly, I think one of the largest problems is people are too focused on one area, whereas rather than going, okay, this, rather than being happy with who they are, it's like maybe this will make me happy, or maybe that will make me happy.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yeah,
Go your
it's
brother, Andy.
too much guesswork and not enough. Like what Andy was saying, focusing on oneself.
Exactly.
Finding one's identity first, which a lot of Americans just don't really do.
Well, no, we expect everything too easy. Like, we should just know that everything should just fit nicely. Everybody should just get along. Everyone should just, be, but that doesn't work. Like, all the pieces don't fit together so neatly. It's, it's the way it is.
And B Geek says, okay, going to say it. This thing reminds me of when everyone went gay or bi in the 90s to get attention. I see very similar patterns now to back then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
What happens when it's it's the same old, same old. They're like, now all the hype's over, and now you're back to just being you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you find out all the same problems you had before you were trans are still there, like, because it's still you.
Yep.
Some people
That's right.
are never ever truly happy, says Jacob Archer Barton. I think that's true.
This is my
Good
son,
answer.
Clark.
Yes.
Hey.
Yeah, he's closer to that generation, so
I'm just invading, so.
No worries,
I can
man.
see a strong resemblance.
Say
You look
again?
like brothers. You don't look like father and son. You look like brothers.
Exactly.
Hmm.
I gotta get you a proper mic for this.
well, I can't because the air conditioner makes too much noise.
You can adjust how much it picks up. I can show you.
We can hear you.
We can hear him.
Yep. Yeah.
I know, just like no problem in upgrading the hardware,
Yeah, that's what we were just talking about.
Doomcock's about to start his live stream, so you're going to be losing your viewership. Probably.
Actually, that's fine. I kind of figured today would be a shorter stream and I would have fewer people on the panel. I'm actually really excited that we've had as big a panel as we've had, but I can.
I'll be good for next
go.
week.
We're usually we're supposed to go from 3 to 5,
Okay,
and we're about 10 minutes away from that, so it's no problem. Captain, you were saying something.
Well, okay. Let me ask this: do you go into a business or any other situation and go, "Hey, I'm whatever," whether it's
announce your
straight,
identity,
announce your sexual identity and what
Right.
you're attracted to? Because I know
No.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't go into any place and go, "Hi." Listen,
I'm a heterosexual cis male.
So
Yeah.
I will introduce myself using my name. If I have credentials, I'll say this is what I do. That kind of thing.
Right.
Not who I'm attracted to or how I whatever.
Well, that's
Yeah.
the thing, isn't it? It's like, because if you look at back in the 80s when I used to hang out in like place like South Street in Philly, which was heavily like you had a whole neighborhood there, and being an art major.
Did you say gayborhood?
Oh yeah, that's what they call it. It's
Okay,
the neighborhood.
I just was checking.
Yeah, it's and the landlords love it because there's no crime, the occasional domestic argument and stuff like that, but there's no shootings, there's no stabbings or anything. But back then, all they wanted to be was accepted for who they were.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like there's this big movement about normalization. It's like no, I don't want to be on an outlier, so everybody should be like me.
Mm-hmm.
That way, now I'm normal. Well,
and you should go out of your way to make things smoothed out for me.
well, it doesn't work that way because everybody's self-interested. So you're busy looking out for your own path, and you're going to stumble into people. That's just, you can't have it both ways. It's like there's always going to be obstacles in your way. There's always going to be, like, a squirrel wakes up in the morning, he's got to worry about hawks trying to eat him.
Right.
That's just the way it is. That's nature. And if you don't like nature, like, well, you can, whoever you see as your creator, you can have an argument with them, but
right,
you're not going to solve that problem.
Rod, I got the impression that you were going to say something on this subject.
Oh, I'm sorry. No. I was just simply
agreeing or nodding your head or something. Okay.
That's right. Sorry.
Well,
I saw your bubble go while Andy was talking. So.
Oh, I just probably sort of, yeah, agreed. Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
I was working with somebody for 6 months before I found out he was gay. Gays don't tell you that they're gay.
No.
And they look normal.
Mm-hmm. Unless
they look like everyone else.
They're like flaming and they really exaggerate. Like Quentin Crisp or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm sure that happened a great deal less back then because it was illegal in the UK.
Until 1967.
Yeah. And I think the movie with John Hurt, the Naked Civil Servant, came out in 1975, right?
I haven't seen that movie.
Really?
No.
Really?
Oh my God. The Time Prophet, you have to see the Naked Civil Servant.
Was it the one where the
before
alien...
you come back next Sunday, you must see the Naked Civil Servant.
Was that the one where the alien burst out of his stomach?
Your homework.
Did the alien burst out of his stomach?
No, that was another John Hurt movie. But John Hurt plays Quentin Crisp, and he's really, really good in that role. I mean, he's good in everything, but it makes that movie more important to see. I
will try and watch that.
It's really good. You won't regret it.
Yeah.
Whether you can find it or not, or get access to it, that's a whole different story. I
can get access to any movie.
Oh, good.
I'm pretty good like that.
Well, since we're probably going to roll up in about 7 minutes, let's get stuff off our chest that we wanted to and plug our channels, and then we'll move along, little doggies.
Hopefully by next week I'll have a new channel up and running.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm going to focus all on how to do 1/6 customizing and collecting on a budget.
Cool.
Wow.
I think that'll be a very popular channel.
Right.
And I saw the way that Doomcock shouted you out the other day. That was really nice.
I feel bad because I don't have anything to really show anybody. It's just the occasional thing that pops up that I mail out to people.
Yeah.
So, which I mean is fun because I like to see the reactions that they get. Doomcock really blew me away. I had no idea. I had no expectation of anything like that. In fact,
did he have you on?
Oh yeah, he had me on that night when he got it. But I never put a note or anything, and I just put my my first initial, my last name on the address, and just sent it off to him. I just thought it would be funny, and that get a kick out of it, and and it was. And
then he was like, "Whoa, man!"
Well, I mean, there's so much potential for humor in a lot of this. And it's funny because I'm brand new to all this, and I'm learning that there's layers to things, and there's I had the impression that it was a much more honest and sincere community. But I'm starting to see that I'm seeing the ego creep in. I'm seeing the hierarchies, like, battle out and things, and I'm seeing, like, the second guessing of things, of like, now people are looking for motivation behind things instead of just accepting things as like surface level, like, well, why is this person giving this to me? Or like, and I'm second guessing this myself when I send things out to people. Or are they going to think I'm trying to promote myself, or like,
right?
And I'm just, I have an idea. I think something's going to be funny.
You're
and
just doing it for the love of it, for the fun of it.
Well, yeah, and I think it's exaggerating things, like, like I had no idea how to make a Harvey figure, but I figured, he does a comical version of this. So you have this fearsome monster. Let me put him in a pair of boxer shorts and a wife beater shirt.
Yeah.
Do a little,
and of course a prop pizza and a prop couch.
Yeah, and I did. I sent one to Az, and with a hot dog suit, and because that would be funny.
That's hilarious.
And I'm working on a couple other ones. Like, one goes out in the mail tomorrow, and I like to see people surprised with it.
So how are you going to make the Time Prophet's eyes glow?
LEDs.
Yeah, LEDs. No big deal.
But really, it's just a matter of, like, when, for most of us, like most of our lives, we've been on the back burner of things. We've never really been important. Like, it's like, and all of a sudden, like, wow, you get something like an action figure that's like, if you've collected things, it's like, wow, I have this and it's unique.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And you are really, really good at it.
Thank you. I'm working on getting better. That's the important thing.
It's really remarkable, the fine detail work that you do. Do you have one of those lights that has like a magnifying glass in it?
I have a pair of goggles that, like, I just wear, and with a big bright light and stuff like that, and it's
and it magnifies what you're looking at. Yeah. Because you get all the fine detail works that, like, even like people's hair and stuff.
Yeah, well, that's tricky. It's like I see some of the guys I know, they're professional sculptors, and the work that they can do. It's like, and it looks completely realistic, and I'm like, yeah, I kind of carve lines into clay.
You're definitely very talented. Do you have a channel we can put into the private chat so I can put it into the comments?
Not yet, but hopefully this week I am
or
working on.
Anything else you want to plug?
No, I'm just like, just chilling out for now.
Next week maybe.
Yeah, I'm hoping.
Okay. Rod Thunderheart, we know about See Through Love, your book.
Thanks. Thank you.
Do you want to put your channel into the private chat so I can get it into the comments? And same with Captain Trek and
absolutely.
Time Prophet. And Captain, while Rod's doing that, do you have anything else you want to say or plug or?
Well, I will say I've had some issues that have come on, and I will say a lot of it. I'm going to be blunt. A lot of it
Please subscribe to Captain Trek at this.
No, honestly, a lot of it has to do with stress and pain level, and I've allowed it to get away from me.
Yep.
And
I feel you.
I need to apologize to people, and honestly, I don't know how to do it. And I would appreciate people subscribing to me. That would be wonderful.
Yeah.
But
that's part of the whole deal, of coming on the show is you get to plug your channel.
I think the most important part is we're providing content that people are enjoying, that we are somehow enriching people's lives.
Yes.
And in ways that we may not understand. And in fact, I had somebody tell me today that if I hadn't done what I did, that they wouldn't have done something as they did.
Yep.
That was very important to them. And I didn't know that. I didn't know it.
It's true. And it's unfortunate that it goes unspoken as much as it does.
And the only reason I happened to find out is because I was extra stressed today. And they said, okay, I need to talk to you. I said, okay, let's talk.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I am usually on 6 a.m. Central, Tuesday through Sunday. And then
Morning Brew.
For Morning Brew, yes.
It's a great show.
Thank you. I appreciate the fact that you're plugging it and that you've been joining when you can.
And Don McDouglas says, Rod, nice video from 9 years ago. LOL. So, please subscribe to Captain Trek, The Time Prophet, and Rod Thunderheart. And, gentlemen, it looks like it's time. It is 2:01:28 for this program. And because it's the 4th of July, I'm going to let you go and let you get on with your day. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. And
a lot of fun.
Yeah. And it's Cardinal Sin